let's hit record. Okay. So I want to start by reading this poem by Bob Weissenberg. So as you come onto your mat, maybe you're lying down comfortably, maybe your knees are bent, maybe the legs are straight, but you're in a restful awareness. And let the hands rest on your belly so that you can feel yourself breathe. You can feel yourself taking the breath in and back out as the belly moves. And this poem is called, Have You Ever Been to the Grand Canyon? Have you ever been to the Grand Canyon? How did it make you feel? Did it fill you with wonder and awe? Did it startle you out of your ego? Did you feel the infinite grandeur and timelessness of the universe? Did it make you feel small, yet in a strange but unmistakable way, infinitely large too, as infinite as the universe itself? Spiritual enlightenment is when we suddenly realize that we're staring at the wonder of the Grand Canyon each and every moment of each and every day. So breathe that in. I loved that reminder that we are staring at the wonder of the universe every day. No matter where we are, no matter what we're experiencing, as we move our bodies, as we breathe, as we take in a tree or a flower. And I love how he says that spiritual enlightenment is when we suddenly realize that we're staring at the wonder of the Grand Canyon each and every moment. So take that in. Maybe picture your own place of awareness and awe. As we lay on the floor, as we find our breath, as we feel the belly move up and down with your inhale and your exhale. And find your belly, your low belly in particular, find it really soft. So as you inhale, it freely moves up toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, it freely, softly moves back down toward the floor. Notice your breath, notice maybe some awareness. As the thoughts move in and out, as we find our center this morning, a few more breaths right here. And then draw your knees to your chest. Just hold them in for a moment, not even necessarily moving or shifting. Just draw them into your comfort level. You can always take the hands underneath the knees to lessen the compression. And just pause here again. Let the shoulders drop down to the floor, the center of your head to the mat. Maybe feel a subtle shift and stretch of your lower back. Sometimes we rush too quickly through some really basic poses and we miss the opportunity for a little bit of a stretch here. Maybe your ankles comfortably cross one way or the other. just to relax your legs even more. Find your breath. Good, one more deep breath right here. And then keep the right knee into chest, stretch the left leg, let it hover. Let it hover. There you go. I kind of look there. So just stretch one hip away from the other hip. And then let your left leg come to the floor, right hand to right knee. Take the right knee out to the side, out to the right side. Your left hip's gonna lift off the floor, that's okay. And stretch it out and then bring the knee all the way up, bring it all the way across. Stretch into an easy soft twist here. Don't go super deep, it's way too early. Just notice your breath. And then bring the knee to chest, squeeze it in, stretch it out all the way out to the front of your mat on purpose, and then bring your left knee into chest. Remember, you can always hold underneath. Let the right leg hover, tone through the lower belly, soften the chest and the jaw and the shoulders. One hip moving away from the other hip. And then lower the right leg, left hand to left knee. Take that left knee out to the side. And just stretch. It can come all the way to the floor if you want. The right hip can lift off the floor. Just play here a little bit. And then take the knee to chest, squeeze it across, bring it into a twist, let it be soft. Big deep breath. And inhale, knee comes to center. Hold that knee in and then stretch it really, really long all the way down to the floor. Activate both legs, all your toes pointing up to the ceiling. Squeeze your hips, squeeze your glutes. Let the arms go overhead, any level of comfort here, so you can keep the elbows soft if you want. And then draw the belly ribs toward the floor. Really draw them in, really feel them as if you could press all of that back deep into the floor. It may or may not get there. Big deep breath. Good. Lift just your left foot off the floor. Press your right heel into the floor. Press both hands to the floor. Easy here though. Don't stress the shoulders. Good. Start to press the shoulder blades down to the floor and release and let go. Oh. Good, other side, press your left heel into the floor, lift your right foot. Tone the belly, level out your hips, press your ribs, your belly to the floor, backs of the hands press easy, gentle into the floor. Nice length through the back of your neck so you're not lifting your chin. And exhale, let it go. Oh, bend both knees. Take your hands behind your head, interlace those hands softly, bring the knees to 90 degrees, hold. Press your head down into your hands and then press your low ribs down to the floor so you're almost flattening the back here. Good, and then tap your heels. So one heel at a time, keep your lower back on the floor or super close. Find your breath. Yep, a little bit of core work. I have been eating way too many cookies, so you all have to do core work. I'm not sure how that happens, but it does. Good. Breathe. Squeeze your belly in. Keep heel tapping one at a time. Don't bring the knees too close to your core or too close to your chest, because then you lose the belly there. Good. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Draw both knees to chest. Release those hands from behind your head. Rock your head side to side. Just stretching out any tension there. And hands behind your head again, 90 degrees again. Press the low back toward the floor. Lift your head off the floor, but keep it heavy and supported in your hands. And just notice this, right? So my head's heavy, I'm not pulling on the neck. I'm gonna keep my left leg at 90 degrees. I'm gonna stretch the right leg long. Breathe. If this is too much, lower your head down to the floor. Keep breathing. We're holding one side. Yep, you got it. And then slowly bend your right knee. Don't bring it up too close. And press your left leg out. Woo! Right? What happens here when we do this so slow that we can't help but feel our bellies? Good. One more, both sides. Reach the right leg as you bend the left. Don't bring the left knee too close to your chest. If your head, neck, or chest are starting to feel too uncomfortable, lower your upper body and switch. Last one, last side. Woo! Everybody breathe. Keep pressing your low back to the floor. And bend both knees. Lower your head. Turn your head side to side. Stretch it out. Good. Last core one here. 4 now. Just a little warning. 4 now. Legs are at 90 degrees. Hands are behind your head. Opposite elbow to knee. So press your right elbow to your right or your left knee. Stretch your right leg long. You know what to do. And switch. So you're going to try to lift shoulder off the floor as you twist. So it's less about the knee coming close and more about the elbow reaching. Yep, you got it. So I hope you're still switching. Switch and switch. Don't forget to breathe and switch. Let's speed it up for 10. So that's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Good extension. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo. Bring your knees to your chest. Pause, let the legs be heavy here. Notice your breath. Turn the head side to side. And then let your feet come to the floor. So there is a theme to class today, and you're going to figure it out pretty quickly. You're going to keep your left foot on the floor, and you're going to keep your right or your left hand on the floor. So left side is down and solid. Right leg straightens, and right hand comes down to your side, palm face in. No, palm face down. Lift your right leg a little bit, lift your right arm a little bit, press into your left leg, and slide your right arm out to the side and your right leg out to the side. So we are doing, my darlings, half snow angels. So hopefully you all know what those are. And there's a little bit of a Christmas theme to class today, so forgive me if you don't celebrate Christmas. We will come up with other images. So I want you to just imagine that you're laying in the snow and you're all bundled up and you're doing little half snow angels on the right side. Stay with it. One more right here. Woo! And bring it back and bring that knee to chest. Good. I'm just going to turn around because I have a wall right next to me. Your right foot on the floor, your left leg slightly hovered, your left hand down at your side and slightly hovered. Press into your right hand and your right foot. That's just going to give you some stability. And then when you're ready, left side. Don't worry about whether the left foot is pointed up or sideways. Just let that leg go out to the side as the arm slides overhead. Yep, you got it. If this is super hard, let both the hand and the foot go to the floor and slide along the floor. And just kind of check it out, right? Maybe channel your inner child, your inner fun child who didn't care that it was 20 degrees outside. They're just having fun. One more, one more, one more. Whew. And squeeze it in. Bring both knees to chest. Good. Grab your strap. Take it around your right foot. Take the right foot up to the ceiling. Depending on your hamstrings, either keep your left foot on the floor or straighten your left leg. Good extension through the right leg, everybody. And just breathe. Just kind of notice, right? Hamstrings, hamstrings. And then take the strap in your left hand, come just a little bit over to the left with your right foot, right leg. And breathe. It's maybe a quarter of the way over, maybe not even that much, right? You can probably feel this pretty substantially. It's all that stretch of the outer hip. And then if your body allows, one, either stay here, or two, completely roll over on the left hip and let the right foot come to the floor. That's it. And then just take the right arm up to the ceiling and breathe. Just a little side stretch here, a little bit of a twist, right? Lower your right hand to the floor, listen up. Bend your left knee, if it isn't already, left knee on the floor. Then lift your right leg back up. Take your left leg up. Switch sides with your strap. Left foot's in the strap, right leg is either long or the knee is bent. Either way. Breathe, feel that little sweet hamstring. And then take the left leg over toward the right just a little bit. Find your breath. Notice, smile, breathe. And then only if you want, you're taking that right foot, or that left foot rather, all the way to the floor. I'm going to run into a wall, so I won't go that far. Breathe, notice, smile, you're leaning on that right hip. You're just allowing this little bit of a stretch. The strap is helping, hopefully. And then before you bring that leg all the way up, I want you to bend your right knee so that you have stability, and then take the left leg back up, bring the right leg back up, bend your left knee, remove your strap. Roll onto your left side. Hang in there with me. I have a plan. Roll onto your left side. Bend both knees and support your head in any way that makes sense. So you're either hand to head, or you're down on your arm, whatever makes the most sense for you. You're directly on your left hip. Keep your bottom leg bent, straighten your right leg. Good. And then take your top hand, so both top leg, top hand down to the side. Here we are again. Guess what? Side snow angels. Side, single side, side, snow angels. Up we go. Lift the leg, arm overhead, and lower. Good. Squeeze it up. This time, if you can help it, keep the toes pointing forward. Good. Breathe and down. And this is 4, and down. This is 5, I want you to hold. So your right leg is lifted as high as it can go for you with the toes pointing forward. There is a difference. Your top arm is hovering overhead, right? So that arm is right alongside your ear and you're reaching. Keep squeezing the right hip and breathe. Take the right arm up to somewhat mimic the right leg. So don't worry about it being perfect. Squeeze your belly in, lengthen your tailbone. Find your breath, press into your bottom leg, and then bend your right knee. Grab either your toe, your foot, your ankle, and take that leg up to the ceiling. Good, keep pressing down through the left leg, right? That left outer leg, the bottom leg, so that you've got good stability. Try to stay on the left side, don't roll back. Find your breath, maybe point your toes, and bend your knee. Lower that leg down so it meets your other leg. Press up or just turn over and switch sides. Whatever is easiest for you. You're on your right side, your knees are bent. Your bottom leg presses into the floor. Relax your head, your neck, make it comfortable. Straighten your bottom or your top leg and flex the foot. Keep the toes pointing forward. Your top arm comes onto the top hip or it hovers just above. And snow angels, down and up you go. And breathe. So, just kind of imagine if we could take some parts of our life less seriously and have fun with our bodies, have fun with our poses, our yoga, paying bills, right? One more right here. Squeeze it up, squeeze it down, and then hold that leg. This is as high as it'll go. You should be feeling that hip, right? That side hip. The top arm is hovered over your ear. Everything else is feeling pretty relaxed. Press into your bottom leg. And then bend your top leg. Reach for whatever you can grab on that leg and take it up to the ceiling, right? And breathe. And notice. Point maybe your toes and stretch out the front of your foot. That's it. And then bend your knee and very much on purpose, set it back down on your other leg and pause. And then press yourself all the way up to a seat. Oh, I know I said have a block nearby, but we'll come back to that later. I decided to come back to that later. And it's already warm in here. Good, breathe everybody. Before I put my hair up, I wanted you to see my new hat. Santa baby? No. Okay, grab your strap. What did I say? Too many cookies, right? All right, so come into Janu Sirsasana or single leg forward fold. Use your strap. I've got my left foot forward and my right foot pressing into the upper left thigh. And grab your strap and then pull your shoulders back. So I'm not asking you to come forward. I'm asking you to actually pull back on the strap and broaden through the collarbones, broaden through the whole chest. Feel the back start to integrate just a little bit and breathe. Now, if this right leg isn't working for you, a couple of options. One, you're going to put a block underneath your knee to give it some space, right? Give the hip a little bit of a release. Or you're going to take that foot down a little bit lower. So reaching back on that strap, pulling the shoulders back. I want you to slide your heel, your left heel up until the knee is bent. Hold on to the strap with your left hand. The strap's inside my left foot. And I'm going to take that leg up and breathe. Now, same thing that we did on the floor. I'm pressing down into my right leg as the left leg lifts. Maybe you take the left leg out to the side. Maybe the right arm comes up. Notice if you're collapsing back. See if you can stay really tall, really, really tall here. And breathe as we stretch. Some of you don't really need the strap. You're just going to grab your foot and open it up that way. Some of you are going to have super tight hamstrings and need to keep a much deeper bend in the knee, right? So where are you today? How's it feel, right? Can you breathe? And then with that strap in hand, I want you to take it across, still holding the strap. This time the strap is in your right hand and the left hand goes out. Yeah, breathe, right? Working, stretching that whole outer hip, maybe down toward the knee, lifting your chest, finding your breath. And then take it to center, listen up, hold onto your strap, slowly lower your leg, lift your chest, and then come forward to your level, right? Draw the shoulders back, lift through your chest, find your pose. This hat is so big, I could like cover my whole face with it. It's not gonna stay for long, trust me. But I'm trying to get in the spirit. So breathe, everybody, and come on up. Release your straps, straighten both legs, circle out your ankles. Good. Shake out your hands, and then let's come to the other side. Right leg is straight, left leg is bent. You're coming into Janu Sirsasana on this side. Again, maybe a block under your knee, all of those things. We learn, right? We learn how to take care of ourselves, hopefully, in yoga. And we learn to start to listen to the more subtle cues of what our bodies are, one, asking for, and two, just trying to tell us, right? If I do a pose and I get a tweak in my back and then I keep going in the pose, I'm not listening. Does happen, but so for now, straps around your right foot. The shoulders are nice and wide, right? The chest is lifted, and I'm pulling back pretty hard, pretty much on purpose. I'm stretching the heck out of those hamstrings on the right side. And yet I'm feeling my breath. I'm not overdoing it, right? Watch the hyperextension of that straight leg. And then the strap is in your right hand. My right hand, or the strap, is kind of inside the right leg. Bend the right knee, slide the heel in, press down through your left leg, and extend up through the right leg. You can lean back a little bit. It's going to be hard not to if you're lifting the leg, but don't collapse back, right? Keep everything nice and lifted. And again, some of you are going to be able to reach the foot already here in class. Some of you are going to hang on to the strap. Some of you have slippery socks on and you're not going to be able to hold the foot because of that. Good, breathe. Maybe you take the right leg out to the right. Maybe you take the left arm up for balance. Oh, good, everybody breathe. Notice, squeeze your belly. And then slide that leg across, grab it with your left hand, woo! Press into your bottom leg, lift your chest, come out of those sit bones, right? As you press down through the sit bones, you're lifting up. Find your breath, and come center. Slowly lower the leg, nice and control, and then come forward to your forward fold here. Good, and breathe. One more nice deep breath. And release your strap and come on up. Or take your torso up. Good, last one here. I'm going to take off my little happy socks and set those aside. You're going to take your feet a little bit wide on your mat. You're going to snuggle down into your sit bones. You're going to bend or flex your feet and dig your heels in. Lift up through your chest, roll your shoulders back. Good, and breathe. Maybe come back just a little bit. Think of kind of a weird boat pose. And then lift one foot. And breathe. Keep the chest lifted, right? No struggle here. If it is a struggle, hands can come behind or the foot stays down. Good, lower that foot, lift the other foot. Keep squeezing through your core and breathe. Good, lower that. See if you can lift both. They don't have to go high. Lift up. Those legs are slightly wider or twice as wide as your normal hips. You can shake here, you can shimmy, you can whatever is happening as long as there's no pain. And then bend your knees, careful. See if you can either grab your big toes or behind your knees, right? So here's option number one, behind your knees, maybe you straighten the legs. 2 is either your ankles or your toes. Woo! And come on up. Good. Breathe. Hold this pose. Boat pose variation. Bring those legs together. Woo! Bend your knees. And let go. And shake it out. All right, everybody. Come on up to table pose. The hat's going away. I know at least 2 of you, maybe 3 that have some knee stuff, and so maybe a blanket down. We'll try not to stay on the knees for too long. But start on your knees and come to table pose. And from table pose, maybe a few cats and cows, right? Just releasing some of that spine. Breathe. You got it. Stretching it all out. One more right here. And then tone your belly. Press your right leg back. Double, triple that cushion under the left knee if you feel that's going to help at all. Lift your right leg. Lift your left arm. Balancing table. Been here a million times already. Find your breath, tone your belly, level out your hips. And then take your right leg out to the side, take your left arm out to the side. I'm running in the wall again, so you have to imagine. Breathe. Take it all back to center and cross the other way. So even though everything's lifted, your left arm went to the right, your right leg went to the left. And come back to center. Woo, and release it. Ooh, shake out that right wrist if it's chatty. Remember to really ground down through the hands as well as the knees and the legs. So press back through your left leg. Everything comes into play, right? Belly tones, all that stuff's going on. Lift your left leg. Lift your right arm. Find your breath. And then same here. Left leg goes out, right arm goes out. To the side, breathe, you got it, and then cross them. Right arm goes to the left leg goes to the right. Woo! And breathe. Take it center, everybody. Lower your hand, lower your knee, and come right to downward facing dog, all the way back. Once you're in down dog, replant your hands. Maybe pedal out your feet. Find your breath. Shake out your hips. You got it. And then inhale to your tippy toes. Lower down to your knees. Good, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing, or forward. Again, mindful of those with some knee stuff. Take your left leg out to the side, right out from your hip. And then walk your hands up for gate pose. So gate pose is kind of an interesting thing. And if you happen to have a block nearby, take the block outside your right hip. So whichever knee is on the floor, take the block to that side. And then feel your leg. So play with, first of all, whether your left foot is pointing straight out or turned any amount of sideways. And see how that feels on the extended knee. And then inhale, reach up. As you exhale, left hand slides down the left leg. I have no weight to speak of here. The right arm goes up and we find our side body stretch. And then just kind of notice, right? Keep the belly toned here and keep the right hip tracking over the right knee. And breathe. Head is in alignment, it's not dropping down. You should be able to lift that left hand without a problem. It's super light here. And then inhale, both arms up. Slide your right hand down. See if you can come to your block. If that is too low, I have my block up high. If that's too low, take your hand to your outer hip. and stretch the left arm over the left ear as if you were creating this amazing line from your toes to your fingertips. Find your breath here. And then take your left hand to your hip. Walk your right hand block out to the side more and lift your left leg off the floor. Watch the right knee. Your right foot is kickstand back. It might be at more of an angle. The belly is toned. The left arm goes up. We find our breath. Woo. Stay lifted, stay lifted. We got one more here. If and only if you want, bend your top knee. Reach back for your hand. Hand to foot, open it up. And breathe. Good, we're coming out the way we came in, so listen up. We're releasing the leg. We're lowering the foot. We're gonna turn toward the right to bring both hands to the floor. And we're gonna swivel the knee and find balancing table one more time. Left leg is out. Woo! Right leg, right hand is out. Left leg is out. Goodness. And release it. Downward facing dog. Shake it out. That's the big extent of the knee work here, so hang in there, my loves. Good. And lower both knees. We got to go to the other side, of course. So you're down on your left knee. Your right leg goes out. Your block is to the left side. Find your alignment for gate pose. Left knee, left hip line up. Right leg straight out from your right hip. Toes are either straight or angled, whatever feels best on your ankle and your knee. Good. When you're ready, you're gonna slide your left, your right hand down your leg and take the left arm up. Oh. And just breathe, right? This is my tight side for side bending work. And I can feel this stretch all the way from my outer hip, all the way through the ribs, all the way toward the arm. So it's amazing to me that even though I feel more balance, I can feel that difference, that tightness. Good, find your breath, everybody. And then release it, both arms up. Your left hand either goes to your outside hip or it comes down to your block. If it's on the block, you should still be able to lift your hand, right? You should have that level of support and core support so that you're not overdoing it. Good, breathe, breathe, breathe. And then either stay here or take your right hand to your hip. Walk your block out. I lower my block some and then lift your right leg. Take your top arm up. Again, optional, everything optional. Breathe. You can even take that arm overhead, get a good stretch. And finally, maybe you bend the knee, grab that foot, and come into a nice little quad stretch. I know, hang in there. Good, release it, right? Take the leg out, lift the arm up, lower the foot, but then turn toward your mat, releasing that block, realigning your left knee, right leg lifts, left arm lifts, balancing table on this side. Breathe. And release, downward facing dog. Oh, pedal the feet, everybody. And walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Bend your knees and come all the way up to standing and roll it out. I know. Go wide. Point the toes out slightly, bend your knees. Let's come into goddess pose legs. So start easy, just kind of rock side to side, see what's going on. This can sometimes really help release those knees when we've been on them for a while. And remember, you don't have to go super low. You can come up just a little bit and then find center and feel your knees track right over the ankles, pointing in the same direction as the toes. The belly tones in, the arms come up. Good. Exhale, bring your elbows to your sides. Inhale, straight legs, squeeze your hips. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Good, and up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, we got 5 more. Inhale, press into the feet. Exhale, come on down. And 4, and down. 3, and down. And 2, and down. And 1, and down. And see if you can hold, release the hands. You can change your pose. If the legs are chatty, change them up, shorten them up, all that stuff. And breathe. And then place your hands on your belly. So a little bit of pranayama here. I want you to feel your belly. As you inhale, it expands out. As you exhale, it squeezes in, right? If you need to give the legs a break, go ahead. But if you can hang in there, hang in there. As you inhale, the belly expands out. As you exhale, it brings it in. Good. Now this time, when you exhale, I want you to say ho, H-O. Good. So inhale, exhale, ho. Inhale. Exhale, ho. Good. Inhale. Exhale, ho. Good. Inhale. Exhale, ho. Good. Listen up. Inhale, multiple hoes. Ho, 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 ho. Do you sound like Santa? Ho, 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 ho. Okay. Exhale, forward fold. That's my last Santa Christmas joke, I think. Everybody breathe. I watched The Grinch last night, so I'm all Christmassy. All right, I want you to turn your left foot toward the front of your mat. Walk your hands forward. Separate your feet so that they are hips width apart, and you're in a high lunge. And then lower, optionally, lower your right knee to the floor. Squeeze your belly and inhale the arms up. Nice slow lunge. Everybody breathe. Squeeze the right hip. You got it. Right hand to left knee, left hand to sacrum, opening up the chest. And then inhale, center. Exhale, hands inside your left foot. Walk the left foot out to the left to make a little bit of room. And then lift your right knee off the floor. Hold here. I'm pressing my left leg into my left arm and pressing my left arm back. So I'm using that as a little bit of a stability point. Everybody breathe. And then walk your left hand outside. Either just lower your right knee and switch sides, or step back, left leg. Downward facing dog. When you're ready, right foot forward. High lunge to start, get your spacing. Lower your left knee optionally. Breathe. Squeeze your belly. Inhale, reach up. And breathe. Loosen up all those tight spots, but loosen up with stability, right? So not just kind of willy-nilly stretching it out, keeping the opposing muscles active. Breathe. Good, left hand to right knee. Woo, right hand to sacrum. Open it up, little baby twist. You got it. And then take those hands to the floor. Your right hand goes inside your right foot. And then the right leg just moves out far enough so that you have room for that hand, that shoulder. Press your right leg into your arm into your leg, lift your left knee. Engage, everybody. That's it, you got it. Don't let the head hang too low. Don't lift it up too high. Nice neutral head, finding your breath. And then take the right hand back out. Walk the right foot back in and find downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Find your breath. And breathe. Lower down to your knees. Whew. Good. Grab one of your blocks, have it nearby, and lay down on your left side again. We're not done standing, but we're going to do just a little bit of work here. I want you to take your block, so your right leg is up top. I want you to take the block and angle it so that it is on your knee, but it's angled so that you have a little bit of it on your outer calf, a little bit of it on your thigh, and it's able to stay there. Squeeze your belly. Good, and then just simply lift and lower your top leg. Just a little bit. The knee stays bent, the block stays in place. If you lift too high, what's going to happen? It's going to fall. So breathe. That's it. And this is 4 and 3. Why is this important, my loves? Right? Because if our hips are not strong, then our standing poses become more compromised. Good. Last one here. And then lift and hold. Not too high. Try to keep it level. Flex your foot. And then just see if you can straighten your top leg toward the front or toward the side of your mat. Still the block's in place. And then bend your knee slow. Got one more here. Straighten it any amount that you can. The block is going to get wobbly because now it's barely on the side of your leg. And bend it. Hold only if you want. Take the leg back. Reach for your foot with your hand there with my block. Stretch out the quad. And release. Good. Either turn over or switch sides. I got to switch, turn around because I got no room over here. Bend your knees, same thing. Block goes to the top leg, kind of angled across the knee. Find your breath, flex your feet. When you're ready, lift the top leg. And just start by finding that level thing. You can look at your leg, your knee, see if it's all in alignment, and then lower. We've got 10 here, so that's 2. Go slow. 3, 4, feel it, right? 5, 6, you got this. Piece of cake. 7, 8, slow. 9, one more. 10, and then level it out, hold. See if you can straighten slow. Keep the toes pointing to the side, adjust your block. Breathe, it won't stay this time. And bend it. Woo. And last one, straighten. If you can't laugh at yourself, honey bun, and bend it. And then take the leg behind. See if you can grab your foot, stretch your quad. Ooh, that feels good. And bring it forward. And release your block. Take the block right between your knees here. Lower your upper body if your hand was in your holding your head up, and then just squeeze your block and breathe. And then press your top hand into the floor and see if you can lift your knees. So I'm on my heels, so I'm not lifting my whole leg. I'm just lifting my knees off the floor and lowering them down. It's like being on a little swivel seat. Lift your knees and lower. 2 more, lift and squeeze and lower. 1 more here, lift and lower. And of course, we got to do both sides, right? So just turn yourself over, I know. And lift and lower. Good, lift, little squeeze, twist, lower. Squeeze it up. Down, last one right here, squeeze it up and down. And release your block. Press yourself up. Come to table pose. We won't be here for long. Step your right foot forward. Either stay in a low lunge or lift your left foot off or left knee off the floor. So you're in a high lunge here. Squeeze your glutes, hands come to knee, lift up. Come to high lunge, lift the arms only if you want. Remember, low lunge, knee down is perfectly awesome. Find your pose. And breathe. We're just stretching it out. Take your left hand to your right knee. Take your right hand to your sacrum. Here we are in a lunge again. Breathe, moving through a twist. Finding your pose. Notice. Take it center, inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Walk your left or your right hand inside. Bend your elbows this time. Going nice and deep. I know you can't see, but elbows are bent. Arms are pressing toward each other, moving into lizard. Lizard pose. Some of you can use your block and place your elbows on the block. Some of you are open enough to go down to the floor. Be mindful here. Miss L especially. Find that pose, big deep hip opener. And then press out of those hands. Good. If you can, I want you to lift the hips enough to press that right leg back. Downward facing dog. Good, breathe. And then look through your hands, left foot forward. Right knee can be on the floor or it can be high. Hands come to knees, hang in there. You know who you are if you need a little rest, a little break. That might be the time for it, right? Take the arm up, arms up. Breathe. Right hand to knee, left hand to sacrum. Small twist. Chest is lifted. Back leg so engaged. And then inhale up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Left hand inside, left foot moves out of the way. You're sinking down into lizard pose. Maybe elbows come to block, maybe not. Maybe elbows are just bent. Smile. Breathe. Ho, ho, ho. Cheerio. Breathe. And press into those hands. Walk the left hand outside the left foot. Once again, just lift and come to downward facing dog. Shake it out, everybody. And walk your hands all the way back. Bring them to your feet. Soften your shoulders. Bend your knees. Come on up to standing. Oh, good. Find your breath. Now, some of you might want to come near a wall space. We're going to work on some balance work. If you're on a big, thick double mat, maybe you remove one of those, or you just move all of them out of the way. Grab your strap and just kind of, if you, just throw it over your shoulders, just so we don't have to go for it later. And then feel your feet on the floor. Shake out your hips. Sneaky, right? How the hips get all that work that we're doing. Take your right hand to your right hip and plant your right foot. Good. Take your left hand down to your side and then reach into your left leg, fire it up, lift your left foot off the floor. Guess what? Half snow angels, up, down, slow. Find your happy point. Breathe, right? We want to use that focus. 3, we're doing 5. 4, woo, and 5, and lower down. And breathe. Think of all the awesome snow angels you're doing. Laying down, sitting up, we're good. We got snow angels everywhere. All right, same thing other side, left hand to left hip, right? Stabilize the left side. Your right hand down at your side. Find that energy in the left leg, lift your right, half snow angels. Woo! And breathe. This side's harder for me. Woo! I'm trying to lift too high too. I can see that. Up and down. If you lean too much to the left, you're lifting too high. Good. 3. Belly in. 4. And 5. Woo! And lower down. Good. Just shake out the hip. And breathe. And then take your strap. Please be very mindful here, right? If you're near a wall or a chair or anything like that, one thing you can do is just take one hand to a wall where you have a little extra stability. But otherwise, take the strap around the bottom of your left foot. And reach down a little bit, maybe, mid-thigh, and let the rest of the strap go. Right hand to right hip, right knee is bent. So we're kind of in this like ready to go stance. As I press my right foot, really press it into the floor, I'm going to start to lift my left leg and maybe take it out in front of me. And then I'm going to reach my arm forward so that my arm is straight. If you can, stay here, right arm up, left leg straight. You can even bend the knee here. That's it. Only if you want. Guess what? Left leg goes out to the left, right arm pivots more to the right, balancing pose. Smile and breathe. Come in and out as you need to, and then you know what's coming, cross. Grab the strap with your right hand. Woo! Left arm goes up. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Smile. Take it center. Slowly lower your leg to the floor. And then come right to a forward fold. Feet are even, so shift if you need to. Good. Just breathe, everybody. Soften the back of the knees and come on up. Roll it out. We did that pretty much on the floor, right? So we're doing it standing now. All right, strap goes around your right foot. Same thing. I'm going to reach down a little just so I've got like really good purchase on the strap. I'm about mid-thigh here. And then plant your left foot on purpose, but bend both knees. Because sometimes it's almost like we've got to kind of dig in to lift up. Left hand to hip, find your focus point. When you're ready, push into the left foot to lift your right. Chest is lifted. Doesn't matter how high up that leg is, really does not matter. Walk your hand down the strap so that that arm is straight, leg is straight to your level for your hamstrings. Left arm goes up. Find your breath. Bring everything to the outside. Smile. Ho, ho, ho. Cheerio. I don't know where this is coming from. Cross it over, everybody. Focus. Focus, focus. Breathe. Oh, yeah. Come center. Hold on to that strap slowly. That was not slow, but slowly lower it down. Release your strap, come into a forward fold. And then bend your knees. Come on up. Roll your shoulders. If you were off mat or moved your mat out of the way, go ahead and straighten your mat out. Go wide again. I'm going to turn sideways. Wide as in maybe to the edges of your mat. Bend your knees. Take your hands to the floor. Knees are out to the sides. They're not curling in. Breathe. 1, stay here. 2, wrap your hands around the outsides of your ankles so they go through your legs and to the outsides. The chest lifts. I'm pressing my knees into my arms into my knees. My chest is lifted, my head is neutral. I'm not down on the floor. Big squat, big deep breath. And then release your hands, start to straighten the legs. Walk your hands and your feet to downward facing dog. Find your breath. Step forward, right foot. Options here, okay? 1, you're lowering your knee and you're coming back into a low lunge. Option 2, high lunge. Option 3, pigeon. Now, some of you I know struggle with pigeon because of knee and hip stuff. So maybe that's not your cup of tea today. Maybe you stay in the lunge instead, or figure 4 on your back. Again, maybe you take a block under your front knee's hip to support this pose. Now, before you come all the way into your pigeon, just take a look at your front knee. Your front knee is either straight out from your hip or it's angled out to the side. If it is curled in towards center, just see if you can adjust that. And if you can't, and if you do it hurt something, then don't worry about it. The other option here is to go into lazy pigeon, which means you're sitting on your right hip. Much easier for a lot of folks. And you're just hanging out here. You're still getting, if you think about it, a stretch through both hips. So because I don't have eyes on you, I want you to really pay attention to where your pigeon is. How does it feel for you? If you can, you're still upright, right? We're still stretching the left front thigh, right? The left psoas. Everybody breathe. 1, you're here. 2, you're done. Come on out on that right side. 3, bend your left knee. Your left hand comes forward, your right foot or your right hand goes back. And we just see if we can find a little quad stretch here. Big deep breath. You got it. Release the foot if you still have it. Plant your hands, flip your toes under, lift your knee off the floor. If you're in lunge, you're gonna switch sides. Now, everybody squeeze that belly. Release to downward facing dog. And then consider where you wanna go on the left side. So you can Come to lunge, pigeon, or you're on your back doing figure 4. Those of you who know pigeon, come right to it. Left knee forward, right leg long. Remember, the block is an option if your left hip is hanging off the floor. Or a blanket. I like having a blanket under that hip sometimes. And then see if you can stay upright, right? See if you can just find the pose. Another trick here, by the way, sometimes if my foot is flat, it bothers my kneecap a little bit. Not always, but sometimes. So sometimes I'll flip my toes under and it takes pressure off the kneecap. So there's an option. Look at your left knee. See if it is either straight out from the hip or angled out to the left. If it isn't, just see if you can play there a little bit. And if not, don't worry. Don't worry, you can do lazy pigeon. Just lean on that left hip and soften the right leg. See, lots of options. And breathe. And then either stay here or right hand forward, bend your knee. You're going to lift up a little bit, reach back, and see if you can find your foot. Ooh, quads are tight. Breathe. And release. Press into your hands. Lift your knee off the floor, downward facing dog. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then lower your knees to the floor. And come right onto your backs. So we're not done. So hang in there with me. But we're on the floor for the remainder of class. So if you want to put a sweater on or a shirt or socks or something, in case you're in a place where you're going to cool down and you've warmed up, go ahead and take time to do that. And then come onto your back. With your knees bent and your feet on the floor. Your hands are on your belly. Your shoulders are soft. Just feel this for a moment. Let everything settle back in. Excuse me. Good, and then allow the elbows and upper arms to come to the floor, the fingertips pointing up to the ceiling. Press into your feet, lengthen your tailbone, and lift into bridge pose. Good, imagine that you're squeezing a block a little bit, mostly near the knees, without the knees dropping in. So it's both a squeeze in and a press out, kind of at the same time. Your shins move forward, the hips lift, we press into the feet. Maybe lift your toes and really press into the four corners of your feet. Squeeze the outer hips towards center without over squeezing through the lower back. Maybe lift your heels off the floor. Yep, breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your heels, lower your toes, and come all the way down. Just pause, resist the urge to bring your knees in, if you can. And then hands are down at your sides. As you inhale, the hips lift and the arms lift up and overhead. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. Good. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. 2 more. Inhale, lift, hold. Exhale, lower down. We got one more, everyone. Lift up. And lower. Pause here. Maybe just rock a little side to side. You're almost done. And again, some options. One, a block under your hips. So that is more restorative, right? You're just gonna stay right here. This is particularly nice for SI joints. Both SI joints are sitting on the block and they feel really stable here. So sometimes if I feel a little unstable, I'll just hang out like this for 4 or 5 minutes. Or press into a traditional bridge pose, elbows at your sides, feet are under or ankles under knees, you're pressing up, squeeze the legs. Final option, take your right or your left leg up to the ceiling and breathe. You got it. Keep pressing, keep pressing, keep pressing. Bend your left knee, press into both feet, lift your right leg, find your pose. That's it. Bend your right, hold and lift. Maybe the hands come underneath, elbows shimmy underneath, and we lift into a full bridge pose. And then everybody, wherever you are, come on down to the floor. Let your left leg go straight down to the floor. Just pause. Let your right knee go over to the left and come into a twist. Maybe your left arm is out to the left. Maybe your left hand is on your knee. Maybe you're hooking your left foot around your right thigh a little bit. Just breathe. Nice, release that twist, come back to center. Straighten your right leg, bend your left, foot's on the floor. And then as you're ready, let the left knee go across the right. Come into a twist on this side. Soften everything here. And just smile at your silly yoga teacher going ho, 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 ho during the class, right? Maybe smile at your willingness to be silly. Release your twist on this side. Bend both knees. Bring both your knees to chest. Take your right leg up, externally rotate. Just come right to figure four right there. Your right ankle to your left knee, anywhere that is most comfortable. Stretching it out here. Feel your soft belly. And when you're ready, just simply switch. So whichever way is easy, just switch. And then release that and roll over to one side. And come up to a really comfortable seat. So our Shavasana is going to be seated today. If you happen to have your blocks, grab your blocks. If you would prefer, you're like, Shavasana seated, no way. Then come into a traditional Shavasana. Make sure you're warm enough. And then grab your blocks and place one on either side of your hips. What I'm hoping here is that when you drop your arms, depending on your body, your shoulders completely relax because your arms are lifted, supported, your hands are just either softly interlaced or palm on top of palm in the center. A really nice hand mudra is palms to fingers with your thumbs touching. So roll the shoulders back, let your arms be heavy. If the blocks feel funky, move them or take them out. So I want this to feel really good. It's very restful for my body, so I'm hoping it is for you. And then close your eyes. And feel the softness of your breath, and in particular, the softness of your belly. As we learn to soften our bellies, we soften our innate defense systems, that kind of fight or flight mechanism of always being a little too aware, a little too tense, a little too worried. So very much on purpose, allow your belly to expand out and softly come in. And then maybe let a soft smile come to your mouth, maybe to your eyes, maybe to your heart. And maybe envision a time when you yourself made snow angels in the snow, or remember seeing it on a video or with someone in your family. Remember that time of play, of joy, of possibility. Softer still. And then allow the eyes to flutter open. Release your blocks. Bring your hands to your heart. If you are in full Shavasana, come on up slowly to your seated pose. Namaste, everyone. Namaste. And hang on, hang on. She's a win.